Hello and welcome. I apologize for the tardiness. It has been a Friday, but I'm here finally. Hopefully the hot potato doesn't kick off because I don't think I can deal with that right now. But we are here continuing on our adventures or misadventures with the American System of Dressmaking book, and we made it through all of the intro and the table of contents, and now we're actually to the part of practicing some stitch-in stuff. So, pardon me, I have my thimble, I have some scrap fabric, my pre-threaded needle, for the contrasting color to see if things will show up, because how's everybody's Friday doing? Is everybody having a good day? But I would like to say a quick thank you to the people who come back to watch me on the YouTubes and the Rumbles and the replay crew and the Freya Froofers. All right, so let's see here. The first, basting. There are two kinds of basting stitches, even and uneven. Even basting is made by passing the needle over and under the material, making the stitches in spaces of equal length. And then in the uneven, all right, so let's try that first. So basting, even though this is just a simple piece, but it's our practice. So it looks like we're going for even stitches. I'm using a rocker technique on my thimble here. Oh, I think this is what they mean. I guess these are like, I don't know, 3/8 of an inch, 3 millimeters. So you can kind of see that the stitches and the space in between is about equal. And then for the uneven basting, the stitch and space are not the same length. Who would have thunk? The stitches taken up on the needle is shorter than the space covered by the thread. So I guess this is going to be something like little big, little big. Ah, the sound of thread going through fabric. Oh, did I do this backwards? The stitches taken up on the needle is shorter than the space covered by the thread. No. So here's the back. Long thread, little stitch. Sweet. Running stitches are made just like the even basting stitches, only smaller. Okay. Wow, sounds of birds and Freya Froofers at the scratcher post. Freya Froofers, do you want to come play with me? Come on, Freya Froofers. I need some kitty love. She's been like codependent, woke me up in the middle of the night so she could jump and play with my blinkies. silly girl. Okay. So here we have our running stitches. Smaller than our basting stitches. So let us carry on with our little stitch sampler here. The back stitch. To make a back stitch, take a short stitch on the upper and a longer one on the underside, and bring the needle out at a stitch in advance. Okay, so to make a back stitch, make a short stitch on the upper and a longer one on the underside, and then bring the needle out I mean, I know how to do this stitch. I don't completely understand the directions, but you go back. Continue by inserting the needle to meet the last stitch, passing it under the material and out again a stitch in advance as before. Fasten at end by taking 2 stitches over the last one made. My back stitch line is super wobbly. Yeah, there's nothing like taking some time for some therapeutic stitching. I've missed you guys. I was like, this week's been so crazy. I was like, when can I stream again? Is it Friday? Do I get to stream yet? Is there a way that I can sneak in a stream sometime else in the week? But I just couldn't make. Not this week. I have no idea why this wants to be squirrely-whirly in the middle here. We'll just get to the end because the next is overcasting, and that has something to do with the top edge. So we'll just get to the end here. And then we'll have a cute little stitch sampler at the end of this. All right, let's see here. Fasten at the end by taking 2 stitches over the last one made. Okay. 1 and 2. We're gonna trim, triminy, trim, triminy, trim, true. All right. There's the front of the back stitch, and there is the back of the back stitch. Let's see here. Next in our lesson, we have overcasting. When taking this stitch, the needle should always point toward the left shoulder. Hold the material loosely in the left hand and make sure the stitches are the same depth and keep the spaces even between the stitches. This stitch is used to keep raw edges from raveling. How perfect! We have a raw edge we need to protect from raveling. So, okay. I don't know how they start this. Let's just take 2 little stitches at this end. 2 happy little stitches. Okay, when taking the stitch, the needle should always point towards the left shoulder. So it looks like you just hold the material loosely in the left and make sure the stitch depth is the same. Okay. think this is like similar to a whip stitch, but this case, instead of the finishing, so this is at this raw edge here. I'm trying to make nice even stitches. So I'm sure that if I was doing this and they were sending it back to get graded, I would probably get flunked. Ooh, quiet, tummy. There's no food right now. There's no snackies right now. I'm trying to be even. I'm not just eyeballing things. Oh, those blue jays have so much to talk about. Okay, we don't need to necessarily do this whole should. Fine, we'll do the whole thing. So our sampler doesn't unravel. The hard part with this one is not making sure to not pull it so tightly that it crinkles up at the top. You have to practice being relaxed and calm with our stitches. And I'm taking too big of a stitch here. Oh, but I got so much to talk about for Sunday. Ay, 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 what a week, what a week. But we'll save that for Sunday. But please, if you enjoy watching me sit around and go through these lessons with you all, please consider hitting the like, the dislike, subscribing, ring the bell, follow me on Rumbles and the Instagram, and stay tuned for more exclusive content over on. Okay, here's enough of that. All right, let's see here. Next up, overhanding. The overhand stitch is used for seaming two edges together, usually two selvages. Baste the two edges together first, then hold the material loosely in the left hand, having the edges between the thumb and forefinger, and place the needle in from the back and let it. Alright, let us. I should have. Do I have selvages? Let me just. We'll just try this. Little piece together. Another scrap. Okay. What did it say first? Baste together. Baste. Okay, so we're just getting these pieces attached. Oh, Tommy, just relax. It's not snacky time yet. Okay. All right, we're at the end. Okay. So next, then hold the material loosely in the left hand, having the edges between the thumb and forefinger, and place the needle in from the back and let it point toward the shoulder. Overhand with close stitches. Okay, so this looks like you start again back at the beginning. I'm just gonna end this thread. It says baste, but really it needs to say baste, secure, trim. Go back to the far right side. And then we're going to do that same overhand stitch that we practiced on the other side. So let's just this thread locked into place here. Close stitches over and over the edge. Okay. So we're using the stitches from the previous steps to have a more advanced, fancy combination as we're carrying on so far. So far the sequence seems sensical. I wonder what this is going to look like when we get to the end. So then once I think when the material is opened, the edge or seam must lie perfectly flat and not form a cord. Okay. So I think we're supposed to have to, once we do this little section, must have to take out the basting stitches because they are just there to hold the pieces in place while we do this. We'll see if we get to the edge of our sampler or we run out of thread first. looks like we're going to run out of thread first. So I'm going to call that good and put in 2 little stitches. And take out the basting thread. Oh, here. Let's see what we've done. There's the top, there's the basting, there's the back side. And we'll just flatten that out. And here we go without the basting stitches. And it should just gently pulling, and it lays flat. Ooh. I think it really makes a cord. Fancy. All right, let's use our the eye of this needle is so little, so give me a second while we rethread our needle, following the instructions from last week. We thread the needle at a reasonable length. Huzzah! Okay. Oops, don't do that. Let's see. Hemming. A hem is a fold of goods turned down and folded over to conceal a raw edge. Ordinarily, turn the hem towards you. Crease the raw edge over 1/4 of an inch with the thumb and forefinger. I think we can do this part. So far, so good. Okay. To get the hem equal in width, cut a piece of cardboard the width the hem is to be, and place the end of the cardboard at the turned edge and mark the desired width by putting pins or with tailor's chalk. Move to the left and continue marking until hem is marked all the way. Then fold the material on the marking and baste it down. The hemming stitch is slanting stitch and is made by holding the hem. Let's see here. Okay. So does it say fold it twice? Turned down and folded over. So we are just doing that. And the hem is marked all of the way. Then fold the material on the marking and baste it down first. The hemming stitch is a slanting stitch. Okay, so let's just baste this down per the instructions. And again, I use this rocking. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do, but it's the way I do it. And they didn't tell me that I couldn't. Okay. And I didn't make a fancy tool because I didn't read ahead. I wanted to be surprised, and yeah, we're just eyeballing it because this is for our learning. And some laughter. Guess we're doing a combination of even and uneven basting here. Yes, pardon. The sound of wind in the trees and the crows crying out. Oh, we've made it to the end of our basting. Oh. We'll just trimmy. All right. Move to the left and continue. The hemming stitch is a slanting stitch and is made by holding the hem across the forefinger of the left hand and placing the needle in so that it will point upwards to the left thumb. Take up 1 or 2 threads of the cloth and also catch the fold of the hem at the same time. And don't pull out too far. It is very important to have the stitches slant in the same direction and of uniform size. Mm. All right. By Jove, I think we've gotten it. So far, we haven't flunked out yet. So funny, I waited all week just to sit here with you and go through these lessons. Am I a sad weirdo? Possibly. Do I care? Not at all. I want to take up more of my house as a studio space. You betcha. You betcha. You betcha. What's that song from? Talking to you. Anyway, okay, so stitches are not perfectly even. Hey, creepy goobies. Yeah, you think it's almost supper time? It's getting closer. Now I woke up in the night because Freya Friffers was jumping on me, and I didn't realize that Loki just camped himself out in the bed with me all night long at the feet. It's like, yeah, it's getting cold in the night times. I need my cozy winter space, please. And I have to, like, get the heaters vacuumed out and get all the wintry things collected. I think this hem might get a fail, but it's too bad all the instructors, I don't think anybody's grading these materials anymore but me. And I'm doing my best to be very careful and particular because sometimes you just get into this get it done now, rush, 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 and don't think that's going to be these lessons. I can't wait to get to the drafting and the sewing of the garments from here. Okay. Pick some stuff up. I know, I'm here by my lonesomes today. All by my lonesomes. Almost at the end of the stitchy stitch. Okay. They never tell you how to finish. So I'm just taking a couple stitches. Okay. Scissors. All right. There is the back side, tiny little stitches, and then there's the inside. Tucked everything down, mostly nice and loosey. There we go. All right, practice makes better. Okay. Brave Rufus, this one's named after you. And I just... And I literally just lost my hand needle. There we go. Nope, it's got just enough magnet to magnetize itself to my scissors. Let's see here. Let's take a... How big is this lesson? Okay, let's just skip ahead real quick here. Oh wow, there's a lot. Okay, we're probably definitely not going to be able to make it through the entire lesson today. Definitely not. There's some fancy things I can't wait to get to. We're not there yet. I can't wait to get to the smocking section. Okay, there we are. Cat stitching. Cat stitching is making small stitches used to hold various edges in sewing, especially flannel edges. Place the pieces of the flannel together and make a seam. Trim off one of the seam and press the other down to cover. How did I get... I jumped way too many pages there. Okay. I don't have... Let's get back to this cat stitching. Let me make a note. We'll cat stitch next week. Because I probably have some flannel we can actually practice this on rather than this piece of cotton linen. Again, I really just want to skip farther ahead in the lessons than we are. Here's closer. No. 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 Okay, so we're going to save cat stitching. Oh, that looks so cute, but yeah, I'll cut a piece of flannel for next week. So let us... Should we do some feather stitching? Feather or briar stitching is often used in fancy and embroidery work as well as in sewing. To make this stitch, bring the needle up through the material, which should be held over the left forefinger. We'll read the instructions and then we'll go back and reread it again. Take a short slanting stitch, bringing the needle out over the thread, which is held down by the thumb. Take the second stitch on the opposite side, pointing the needle towards the line on which you are working. Two or more instead of one may be taken on each side. The beauty of feather stitching depends upon the uniformity of the stitches. So let's get back to the beginning. We'll go to the nice side of the material. Oh, doesn't matter. It's got a little bit of everything going on here. Oh, yeah, furries. Okay. To make this stitch, bring the needle and thread up through the material. Check. Up and through. Should be held over the left forefinger. Take a short slanting stitch, bringing the needle out over the thread, which is held with the thumb. Okay, so we're up. We're gonna hold it with our thumb, and then take a short slanting stitch, bringing the needle out over the thread, which is held with the thumb. Okay. The second stitch on the opposite side. Hello, Loki Love Frog. Hello, my love. Love, my love. Love, my love. Okay, like I get it, but I don't get it. Oh. This would be a failure in the lesson book, I think. What's happening? I think we're gonna have to practice our feather stitch. Alright, folks. We learned some stuff. I am gonna sit and practice my feather stitch for a few minutes, but you don't need to see me do that. And I think we've learned we need to get some more materials for next week. So I'll see you folks tomorrow for whoever wants to hang out with me for my Shop My Stash Saturday. It's going to be the Barnett Handicrafting Lady on the Go travel magazine, and we will be back here again on Sunday at noon p.m. Pacific Standard Time for our weekly Stitchin' Bitch. And I think we're going to get back to our combinations because they've got some work, and I don't want to spoil all the rest of the fun stuff. So I'll see you then. Alright, thanks. Give me a like, give me a replay. Heart you all. Alright, bye.